The year's 2004. I am 13 years old, and I am off on a week-long camping trip with my church youth group. Now, the leaders are all very concerned about one thing, and that's bears. There have been a lot of bears sighted near the campsite that we're going to be at in Valdez. And so they keep reiterating to us that we can't have food in our tents. And they even say we need to take our toothpaste and deodorant and lock it up in the cars overnight because bears have such a good sense of smell. There's even a rumor going around to the girls that bears can smell if you're on your period. So we're really, really concerned about bears. But the leaders say, don't worry about it. They have guns and ammunition if that should be needed, but we all have to be super careful of bears. Now, I am not at all concerned about bears. I've never even seen a bear in the wild, so I don't think that that's going to be a problem. But what I'm most concerned about, and all of the fellow campers are most concerned about, are the restroom facilities. Because at this campsite, there is one outhouse, and it's a pit toilet about a quarter of a mile away from where our tents are pitched. And I have been in a lot of outhouses in my life, but nothing has ever compared to this outhouse. It was so foul that we would hold our breath and run in there the whole time, holding our breath, and run back out as fast as we could because it was just the nastiest outhouse that we had ever encountered. So first night, we're getting ready to go to bed, and our leaders tell us they don't want us to go to the outhouse in the middle of the night because it's too far away, and they're worried about bears. And so they have come up with a great solution, which is that they put a honey pot inside the tent of one of the leaders. I know. And if we need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, we should use that. Well, if you're not familiar with what a honey pot is, it's a bucket with a toilet seat on the top of it. And I was starting to think that our leaders weren't really familiar with the concept of teenage girls because I was not going to be doing that, and neither were any of my friends. We all made a pact that we would not be using the honey pot right next to our leader's sleeping head in the middle of the night. So we decided, we said, hey, if we have to pee, we'll walk out into the woods a couple of feet, and if we have to go into the outhouse, we'll just wake each other up. It'll all be fine. So the first couple of nights, no incident. Night 3, I wake up, and my period has started. And it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so I kind of very quietly say, is anybody awake? And nobody is awake. And so I just think, I'm just going to go down to the outhouse. Like, it's fine. And so I get up, I stomp my shoes on, like smash down the heels, don't even bother to tie them. And then crucially, I did not put on my glasses, which was really bad because I have a condition called nystagmus. I have really bad vision even with my glasses on, but without my glasses, I really cannot see at all. But I was just super confident, like I'm just running down to the outhouse, what's gonna happen. So I start walking to the outhouse, and about halfway there, I really start to psych myself out and think maybe this was a really bad idea. So I did what you do when you're worried about bears, and I started singing really loudly, I am a child of God, and he has sent me here, as I power march into the outhouse. And I get in the outhouse, and I shut the door, and I think, okay, this was dumb, but, it's fine. I've made it here. I'll just do my business and get back. And so I'm doing my business, and I start to hear this really weird kind of footsteps. It's like they're heavy, and it's almost like one leg is dragging, and I think one of my leaders is probably pranking me because I went to the outhouse and I wasn't supposed to. So I yell, I know what you're doing, and you're not scaring me. I'm not scared of you. But there was no response. So I just think, that was kind of weird. I don't know what that is. And I get up, and I have my hand on the latch to open the outhouse, and that's when there's a giant bang right on the back of the outhouse, right at the level of my head, and scratching all the way down. And now I know for sure that there is a bear outside of this outhouse, and I am petrified because I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm born and raised in Alaska. I know black fight back and brown lay down, but what do you do if you cannot see the bear so you don't know what color it is? And I kind of thought, maybe I should scream. Like, that would scare the bear away. But then also I thought, if I scream, does that tell the bear, yes, there definitely is a girl in here, come and eat her? So I decide the only option for it is to wait it out. And so I find this really crusty old Glade air freshener, and I hold it to my nose because, again, grossest outhouse in the world. And I sit on the toilet seat, and I pull my legs up, just in case the bear comes in and tries to check and see if anybody's in there. You're not going to see my feet. And I have my little digital wristwatch, and I just watch the time go by as this bear circles around the outhouse. And it's a good thing that it was an outhouse, because otherwise I would have peed my pants multiple times. But I just wait and wait and wait. And this outhouse doesn't even have a door on the outside, just a doorway, and then just the tiny little plywood stall door. So I can even hear the bear breathing standing in the doorway, and I'm just praying that this bear doesn't decide to cross the threshold. After about an hour or so, I hear the bear. I think it's walking away, but I can't see, and so there's no way I'm going to go out and find that it's just lying in wait out in the forest for me. So I keep on waiting, and I wait until it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't heard so much as a twig snap in over an hour. And I lace my shoes really tight and say a prayer and take a deep breath and go running out of that outhouse faster than I've ever run in my life. And I'm sprinting to the camp. I can't see anything, but I'm imagining that all of my leaders are loading their guns and getting ready to come find me and save me from this bear. But in actuality, I get to the camp and everyone is asleep, because no one has any reason to think that I'm not safe in my tent to sleep. So I unzip my tent, and I get in my tent, and one of the girls kind of wakes up a little bit and raises her head, and I say, I just spent the last 3 hours in the outhouse. And she just goes, gross, and lays back down, and I don't really know what to do, so I get in my sleeping bag, and I go back to sleep. A couple hours later, we're all gathering around having breakfast, and I just say as nonchalantly as can be, oh, by the way, I went to the outhouse last night, and there was a bear. And all my leaders are flabbergasted. They're like, what? You did what? And so we all have to take a field trip down to the outhouse, and sure enough, in the mud is the evidence, the bear paw prints all around the outhouse that there really was a bear there that night. But to this day, I still have never seen a bear in the wild.